Okay, we are live and it's all yours, Lakshmi.
Thank you, Rashmi. Hello and welcome to everyone. I'm Lakshmi and I'm speaking from England on behalf of the Inspiring Indian Women, fantastic organization that's been created to celebrate sisterhood and being women and sharing uh, our connections and networks and insights and research and skills. So today I'm delighted to introduce Kavitha Balakrishnan. Welcome, Kavitha,
Thank
speaking from
you.
India.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Kavitha is going to talk to us today about maintaining a work-life balance, how important this is today in modern day life for everyone, male and female alike. So Kavitha will be focusing specifically on technical writing, freelance opportunity, and she'll be giving her insights into this area. So Kavitha, if you'd like to just introduce your background and what's brought you here today.
Okay, thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Rashmi. I really appreciate your energy, Rashmi. I also messaged you regarding this, and this is a wonderful group which allows everybody to share and coordinate. So, okay, I have 20 years experience in technical writing as a career, and so this has been a wonderful career route because always I've been able to work from home. Work from home has become very common now, but I've been working from home for almost 15 years now. So it gives you the flexibility to take care of the family, kids, and yourself, and eat hot food and all this. So being in this lockdown is nothing new for me working from home. So I been conducting a lot of training programs like this for women in India through government because even the government wanted to promote work from home skills. So been conducting a lot of workshops for women, and I feel this is one of the field which is still in demand, and I think it's an ideal field for women. So yeah, so that's it, Lakshmi. Any questions you want to ask, you can ask. I can.
Great. Kavitha ji, if I can ask you to just project your voice a little more so that
Okay.
we can all hear you clearly. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Is it okay now?
that's better. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, first of all, I'm curious to know what exactly is technical writing?
Okay. So when you buy a microwave oven or a camera or a mobile phone, you have a small manual with that, right? So that is written by technical writers. So we don't even realize that not many people look up into that, but there are some people who seriously read the manual and give their feedback and all that, especially in US and UK. I have seen, I mean, always my company's audience have been UK and US because, in India, they don't read much. So earlier, at the time when I started, I'm talking about. So the manuals which are accompanying any product is written by technical writers. So that is a simpler way of putting it, like, so you just refer the how to and guide, and you just do the troubleshooting or whatever it is. So that is the role of a technical writer.
Okay. So has this mainly been your area of expertise in your professional background?
Yeah, so I have 20 years plus experience in the field of IT. I have been writing for software, like how we write for microwave or fridge or mobile, how to operate. People who are buying software applications also need to know how to use that application for their company, in their company, like, how to use the accounting application, or how to use an app, or whatever it is, any text which helps people to understand the product better is called manual, which is written by a technical writer. You can be a technical writer for anything. You can write for hardware components like fridge or microwave or car manuals, or you can write for machines, you can write for software applications, you can write for anything. You're just making the customer make him more comfortable in using the product. So that's the role of a technical writer.
I have a question, like, when you write
Yeah.
for different companies, are you paid?
Sorry.
Are you paid well?
Yeah, we are paid well. Yeah, there is a hitch in freelance companies, like especially in India. I'm not talking about other countries, because I have worked in almost all the countries. But in India, there is a problem getting payment, because they are not so ethical. At least the companies that I've come across, like from India, it is a problem. But I think things have changed now. I think people are okay, and because they realize the importance of a manual going with this. So I think they are getting better. But one thing I would say, this is a career which is equally paid, like a software, IT, other development jobs. So it's nothing like, from since 20 years I've been talking to people about getting into technical writing, because many of them, most of them were not aware of a career like this. And surprisingly, it pays very well. Yeah.
And do you write in English
Yeah,
or in
we write. I write in English. Yeah, I write in English, but there are a lot of requirements. I mean, once you write a content, then you can write for anybody, and you can write it in any language. I am very comfortable in writing in my own native language too. So if you're a technical writer, if you know German language, then you can start writing manuals in German and Japanese. There was a lot of demand for Japanese written manuals, like, I think still it is, like, so there is a lot of scope in this still, even because even now, mine is a classic example, because after working in India till 2008 as a full-time employee, and then I switched into freelancing, and then I started my own company, and I was writing manuals. And then when I moved to UK in 2016, almost after a 10-year gap of working full time in a company, the very first interview I attended, I got the job, and I'm still in the same job since then. Like, so the demand is such, and your experience also matters. Yeah.
Hmm. So would you recommend this for women as a self-employed freelance position, or would you seek out employment in this field?
Initially, I think in India, I think they first ask you to get into employment, because this is a matter of trust. And when you're writing from home, I mean, you need access to all. But now I think things have changed. And this COVID time, I think everybody's given access to everything, and software application, all that. But earlier in freelancing, people used to get an NDA signed from me, and that I won't disclose it to anybody, and install the software in my laptop, and I used to come home and bring it and work on it. But now I think things have changed. It doesn't matter, because everybody are working from home. So initially, it would be better if they get into a full-time job or a part-time one, and then when they gain trust, and it's not that 100% you're working from home, because technical writing is ideally you go and talk to the development people and ask them what they do, what is the product about, how to operate this, how to, you need to know the product very well in order to write about it. So sometimes you will be asked to come to the office to take the requirements. So the main key thing in technical writing is gathering requirements. So you go to the office, meet the relevant people, the project manager, whichever it is. Now I'm working in a manufacturing company, but I have to talk to the engineers, the operators, and the assembly people, the production people, and find out about the product, and then write about it. Like, so the main thing about technical writing, the key thing about technical writing is communication. That's it. In which language you communicate, or what language you're going to write, is up to the company. But the key thing is communication.
Okay. And what qualifications would one need
Yeah.
to embark on?
Yeah, I think minimum you need a degree. Without a undergraduate, I don't think the companies will employ you, however good writer you are. So the minimum qualification is a degree, but the advantage of being in this field is you can be any degree holder and you can get into this industry. It's not like you should have an IT degree, or even if you're an arts or literature student or journalist or something. Of course, if you're into media or a journalism as a background, that's an added advantage, but that doesn't mean that you others cannot get. In fact, everybody from every genre has got into this industry. So anybody, any degree holder from you can be a history student, you can be a geography student, whatever it is. Like, if you are good at writing and if you know to communicate and if you're very expressive, then this is a career for you.
Okay. So what would be the first step that someone would need to take? Would
Yeah.
it be
The
applying for positions in this field, or
The first step will be like, you write a lot of, I mean, you should be familiar with writing, obviously, because any companies give a written test. They ask you to write about, if you're getting into the IT industry, then obviously the tests are a bit stringent. They ask you to write about all the English, they give tests on grammar and paragraphs and all sort of grammatical, whatever sections you have in grammar book, you have to take a test in that. That's what I have seen in interviews in India. But abroad, maybe because I was already having so many experience, I had just to share my companies that I worked and the portfolio that I worked, so that was enough. So as a beginner, somewhere you need to prove that you can write. So that is the first thing they will test you. They will give you scenarios and they will ask you to write about it, like, so and based on that they will test you. So it's easier for a beginner also to get into this, because all he or she should be is good at grammar, English grammar.
why do you feel this is a particularly favorable industry for women?
Yeah, women, because it's from my experience, because I've been working for a lot, because those times in 15 years ago, like, working from home was a big no from any companies. They couldn't accept that model at all, like, so but I used to tell them, like, it's, if I get the requirements and I'm going to write it, I can write it from anywhere. Why should I come to the office and sit and work? But in India, there used to be a lot of, they were not very keen on that. But once when I got into freelancing, there was no other go for companies to accept, because there was a great demand for writers. Because it's not only writing, it's not only English writing, but it's also about your capability to understand a subject and explain it to the audience that you are required to write to. I feel all the women are basically, or natural writers, because they always have experience of teaching their kids. They get into their level and they express their subject to them, or teach about the subject to them. So I feel that's the reason I feel women are very, very capable to get into this particular career option.
Nice. That's a nice answer. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
true. We have so many um, maybe unidentified skills that one perhaps cannot put onto a CV. Um, but we have the University of Life, as they say, going through uh, motherhood and
Yeah,
maintaining a home, and all these things give us
yeah,
skills,
yeah,
transferable skills.
yeah.
Yeah. So, how busy are you with this line of work? Say,
Um,
yeah, how flexible and how many hours a week is
Yeah, right,
it?
right now, since I moved from UK to India last September, I came here. So my manager gave me a transfer here. So it's like a full-time job that I'm doing now. But I am slowly starting to talk about it again and start my own work for other companies here, because with the experience of writing for different domains. Like, even if you, and there are so many options for e-learning and content development now. So when you're a technical writer, you're almost automatically you can get a job into the content writing, also writing for websites, blogging. There is so much of demand for blog writers. And the biggest thing is, it's not only for IT or manufacturing. Suppose you're a herbalist, I mean, you're a herbalist, and you can write about all these herbs and everything for a medical company or something, like, so it goes across all the platforms and all the domains. It is not restricted only to the IT or domain or a manufacturing domain. You can write for an insurance sector, you can write for a hotel industry. I have written documents for very big hotels, how to use the software and all that, like, so anything, if you are good at communication, if you're good at writing, then this is a career option that you should explore.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. So actually, a lot of our audience will not necessarily have any inclination or experience in writing. But what you're saying is that if one has an interest and a particular passion, then they can use that interest and research and background and develop that skill to write about it, right?
Yeah, definitely. And one thing about technical writing and writing for the websites or writing for blogs or content development, what is the major difference between technical writing and writing for all these mediums is, technical writing, you need to be very crisp. You don't need to use flowery languages or be very creative, or you don't need to write poetically or anything. It just has, click this button, that's it. Like, you need to write. So it's not like you need to really be very proficient in writing, because I'm a very bad creative writer. Like, I write blogs, though I do write blogs in all the groups, but like, if I need to write something in a very flowery language or very poetically, I can't do it, because almost 20 years I've been writing crisp sentences. So even I think Rashmi must have also noticed that in my brochure, it was very bad, just to small points of what is technical writing. So it's like 20 years of being writing like this. So that is the key difference between writing for IT industry or as a technical writer, or for writing for blogs or stories or anything. But otherwise, writing for as a technical writer is more easier than writing for other mediums.
Hmm. Perhaps it depends on the person's interest also. I think I'm
Right.
probably the opposite to you, in
Oh,
that I
really?
would struggle to I would struggle to write a very succinct and summarized form of technical information, whereas I can waffle on a little bit, probably a bit too much.
Oh, that's interesting. No, I know each person is different, but definitely writing has got whatever you write, like, whichever form you write, I feel there is a lot of requirement for blog writers and freelancers, and companies are looking for writers with the different
Hmm.
domain experience, especially, like, so as you go experienced, you can start writing for a domain experience. I mean, you can claim yourself as a writer with telecommunication experience, or with a manufacturing experience, or with an IT experience, or a hospitality industry experience. So you can start putting all that in your resume, like, so it's easier that way.
So would you encourage the viewers, the audience, to start, just to experiment, maybe start a vlog or a blog rather, and just to get that, just to get something going and to gain confidence in that particular area?
Yeah, I always say that, because anything, when people want to get into, like, you need an authority over that subject. So only
Mm.
when you go vocal about it, or when you start writing it, or start writing about that to the public, only then it means that you have gained authority over that subject. So, for example, like almost 7 to 10 years ago, I did a interview in my native language, Tamil, for the government. I have a video, and I've uploaded it in my channel. So anybody from Tamil Nadu ask like, oh, like who am I or something? What is my resume? Something, I just give them the link and for them to go and see that. So seeing is always believing. Like when you go public and when you start. Putting your writing or your thing for others to read, then itself it shows that you are confident about the subject, especially so I think people should, if they have the skills, I think they should give it a shot, because there are so many blogging sites. You can be a guest blogger in so many sites, so that's how you gain authority over the subject. Yeah.
Hmm. And do you yourself run training courses to
Yeah,
train
yeah,
these?
I have started doing that, because it's just a point, or I don't sit and tell them everything. I just point out and guide them to become writers, because all my students have been productive from day one in the company. From day one, they will not go and ask anyone what to do or what to whom to contact or what, because my training is more professional, from my experience, like what I faced in the work atmosphere all these years in different countries. So I share that. So it gives them a very 360 degrees experience for them to carry out their work very professionally. And also there are companies and software companies. Earlier, before I moved to UK, there were companies which that used to call me and ask me to send technical writers for them, because they used to ask me to conduct the interviews and send it to them. So, and there are many people, mothers who had just had delivered babies. So I wouldn't give anyone the opportunity to give an excuse like, I have a small baby. Like, I will not accept that, because one of my students, she had just delivered, but she used to sit and write my assignments till 3 o'clock in the morning, and now she's doing freelancing in Bombay, and she's really very successful in her career, so uh, there is no limit at all. I think for women, anything is not a limit. You shouldn't limit yourself. I think you should just give your shot in everything possible.
Mm, mm. Nice. Do you feel that your time in the UK helped you and gave you the confidence and experience that you
That
have?
was a different exposure, because those people were totally different, and of course the work culture is very very different, and but I feel my confidence, as I said, after 10 years of freelancing and doing from home, I went for a full-time job, and they immediately they took me after the second interview, so I feel more than the country specific experience is something. I think the experience as a whole, as a writer in different domains, will really give you the confidence to crack any interview in the world, I would say. And this is one career, like you can go to US or any part of the world. You can go and you can just show your previous experience and get a job there also. It's as I said, it's a bit of difficult skill. Everybody can write, but does everybody have the inclination to understand subject and express that easily to the people? So that is what will be the most challenging thing than the writing. You have to be constantly learning something, because today if I'm writing for an insurance sector and tomorrow the company puts me in a hospitality sector, then I need to learn about the hospitality sector and then start writing about it. It's a continuous challenge, but if you really like challenges, you will really love this job.
Mm, mm. Nice.
But I've also seen freelancers, who are booked with their freelancing assignments for almost 5 to 6 months ahead. They are so busy writing for companies for developing e-learning materials and all that. And now e-learning is really at its peak, so there is an offshoot of technical writing, something called instructional designing. So you can get into that career also, where they develop e-learning contents, and e-learning, it is so much in demand right now. You develop modules and lessons and all that, like, so there were people once when I had a lot of assignments, I was looking out to recruit and I was asking people and they said they are booked till the next year or something, like, so freelance writers.
Is that purely due to to COVID and the restrictions? So a lot of people are learning from home and working from home.
Yeah,
They need a lot more.
the demand in e-learning is because of a lot of people are learning from home right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Okay, if anyone wants to ask any questions, then please feel free to do so. Otherwise, can we contact you, Kavitha, directly if we want more information?
Sure.
Yes.
People can contact me. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
And one thing I would like to tell women, that's why I put this in my brochure or flyer, or like part one, like, because whatever it is, I feel if you get the opportunity, just learn it. Whether it will be useful to you now or later, you never know when this will become of use of you. But there were parents who told me that it made a huge difference to them when they taught their kids to do presentations and all, that they were able to guide their kids to do it in a better way, like, so you never know where this will help you. So any skill, just go ahead and learn, girls. So it'll always, you never know, it'll always help you, and it'll also make you, keep you busy, your mind active. So it's good to learn.
Yeah. Fantastic advice. Yeah. Agree with you there.
That was really very nice to know that. Do you think one should have technical degree to write technical stuff?
No, sorry, I forgot that point. Yeah, no. In fact, you don't need to know anything when you enter the company. You can be just blank. You can just be blank only with only knowing the basics of technical writing, meaning how to write documents and all that. That is what we provided the training. But otherwise, you don't need to know anything about the subject. You can just go blank and sit there, and it's a company's duty to give you a training of 1 week or 1 month or something, and they will ensure that you have understood everything, and only then they will ask you to write. Because it's very important that you understand the product very well, because you are playing a very key role in you're playing a very key role in understanding the product, like, there were once when I got a printer, and I just checked the manual, because I'm a technical writer. I always check the manuals immediately as soon as I buy things, how is it written and all that. And once when I got a printer, I was not able to install it on my own. I lost total confidence in that product, and I asked them for an exchange, and I said I didn't want to use them, and I had such a mental block using that printer going forward, like, so it is very important, like, especially the audience in the UK and in the US, to get a good impression about the product through a manual, because these people read a lot. So it is very important you understand the product and write about it correctly.
Just very curious. So do you get the product free? You can use it.
No, which product you mean? The
So say, for example, you need to write about a product, right? So they will give you the product for free, and you will use it, and then you will review it and write about it.
No, I'm not talking about, I have not done those sort of reviews, product reviews, like Amazon gives a lot of things like that. Is very simple, Rashmi. What I'm talking about is a very huge software ERP applications, which is globally run, and so that is very, very challenging. This is very easy. Like, I mean, you can easily write about how a microwave works or a fridge works, right? But that's a good thing, because there are these sort of writings will help you in this small product reviews also, because I know there were some requirements to write about reviews, like on products, like, and they give you the product for free, like creams and all these things. Yeah, when I was in UK, there was a requirement like this.
does blogging. I'm aware your blogging is quite popular and used to post a lot of blogs,
Yeah.
write-ups, a
Yeah.
handful of gems, right?
Yeah, yeah. I closed everything because I had so many websites and I was going crazy. So I thought, okay, I'm just closing everything. I'm just going to focus on my women's skill development and all that right now, because that takes a lot of time. But I do still write at least weekly once. I ensure that I write something, like, so just expressing my thoughts. That's it. Because there are so many subjects that now I'm involved, and the latest is herbals, and Lakshmi and I, we were speaking about it, like, so I want to write a lot about sustainable living and going green and all that. So that is my latest passion right now. So that's taking a lot of my time.
Where are you writing about those things?
I'm just collecting data right now, so I will put everything together because I'm going to do a video also on that. So yeah.
Mm. I look forward to seeing that. Yeah.
I'm aware that Kavitha is a bundle of talent, She is into jewelry making.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope you will definitely hold a workshop for that for
Sure,
us.
sure, sure, sure.
Jewelry making, pottery making,
Yeah.
she does pottery. And I wanted that, but she said the wheel is not correct, or
Yeah,
there's some
yeah,
issue with the wheel,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So uh, all those ladies who want to change their passion and hobbies into profession, Kavitha is the person to get in touch with.
thank you,
So
thank
Kavitha will
you.
be holding more and more workshops on all these pottery making, jewelry making, and
Yeah.
work-life balance, how to work from home, career options. Anything else do you suggest for career at home besides
Um,
the technical writing?
there is something like I'm working on with the jewelry shops here for the jewelry designing. Like women who are very good at drawing can draw something at home and they can send that to the jewelry shops. And I'm talking to them to pay them for the designs, like, so because of the COVID now, everything is at stall because nowhere jewelry shops are open. So, so it's on hold right now. So, because I've seen many ladies so talented and so artistic, like, I like to streamline that into a career and get their designs paid, because these talents are so much outside lying unused. So that's a big concern for me. Like, so let's see how it goes.
Mm. It's so nice how you're supporting these women, Kavitha,
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
opening up doors for them, to where
Yeah.
they may
Yeah,
normally.
I'm a person because I started from the village. I started all these workshops from my dad's school, village women who didn't have any access to any infrastructure or anything to go and do the training. So I started learning. I thought I will learn everything and then come and teach them. So, and my quest for learning has never stopped. I keep on going from one to the other, like, and I thought, okay, now I'm putting a full stop and I'm starting to teach people right now, like, so because even I myself was shocked when I went for the jewelry training, like, there were men who told me and laughed at me telling, are you mad to leave the IT industry and come and learn this jewelry? This is so laborious, this is so difficult, this is not a place for a woman, you shouldn't be doing and all that, like, so that made me more angry, sort of, like, why are they limiting women from entering into all these different. Actually, one of the person who was a gold association member president of, he was telling me, you women should get into jewelry designing more than the men, because you are the people who wear it, like, so you should be entering into jewelry designing. So I agree with him. I think we should put our hands in everything that we could.
Mm. It's interesting that these industries are so patriarchal and male
Yeah.
dominated.
Yeah. Oh
Even
my
those
God,
industries.
especially jewelry industry, you can never penetrate that, how much ever you try.
Wow. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it silver or gold jewelry that you're
Both
working
silver
with?
and gold, I do, yeah. And yeah, and my jewelry was also selected in one of the exhibitions in London, and it was displayed in the London gallery there for some time. So,
Wow.
yeah. No, this is
The
just an example of like how you have to push yourself and try something new that you have never thought about, like, so.
so inspiring to see
Thank you.
that you've been successful in so many different ways and in different paths, different interests.
Yeah. And I think it keeps your mind also very active. That is very important, I feel. Yeah. Learning something new always.
How we grow, right, and develop as individuals.
Yeah, true. Any other questions? Lakshmi, are you clear now? If you understood, then I think most of them would have understood, like, because you are representing a lot of people.
Yes, that's good. I never considered this type of work, actually. And yeah, I mean, I've come across many manuals and guidebooks, and many of which have been quite disappointing and difficult to understand.
Right.
Maybe written where the product has been manufactured, maybe in China, and people's the English hasn't been quite
right
up to the standard. I think that's that I can see how that industry is very much needed. True. Because we're all buying products all the time, right? All buying, we're consumers constantly, and this is an important line of work.
And the best thing is the current company that I'm working, they make, I don't want to name the company, but they're making machines worth more than 100,000 pounds, 200,000 pounds. It gets shipped internationally and all that. But each machine has to wait for my manual, because the custom clearance is not done till they see the manuals, so right from the safety instructions to the how to unpack the machine, how to handle the machine, everything is written by me, and that has to be delivered with the machine to the customer. Otherwise it gets stalled in the shipyard or in the port, so it's not only for the machines, even for the software, any software application, how many millions you pay and develop and ship it, but without a manual you cannot ship the software application also. So it plays a very, very crucial role in a company's product.
So it's actually a legal requirement.
Yeah, it's a legal requirement. Yeah, it's a legal requirement.
Wow. And you could make or break a business with your
the best advantage, I mean, the companies don't realize that, but slowly they are realizing it. The best thing is that I worked for a company, like when I was freelancing, they said the calls to the customer care has reduced so much.
Right, that's
so
interesting.
So that means they are involving, they are recruiting less people for customer care, and so because of that, they are also saving a lot of money for the company. Just a good manual or a video explaining how to use the product. That's it.
I wanted to say that, how wonderful it would be to join careers like food taster or what else, these things where you travel, traveler on a television channel, or moving from one film to, don't you think, Lakshmi? Something which you love, you just have to taste food, go to the restaurants.
Doing it, Rashmi. There are so many people doing it in India. And they get free food everywhere, and they are invited to come and taste their food, bring their friends. That's publicity for them, right? There are
and company paying to travel all around the world, quarters. There are so many new kind of career avenues opened in today's world.
Yeah, true. It's very easy to make money these days, but only when you're very ethical and very particular about doing something, then it becomes difficult. Otherwise, it's very easy to make money nowadays. There are so many.
I think writing reviews is a very good option for many magazines. Just go and watch a movie, write reviews.
Yeah, even Amazon. I know of people in Tamil industry who have just watched movies and they have just come and given videos, YouTube reviews, and they have become so popular, like, and they are given free tickets. They are invited to movie premieres and everything. And people really go and look at the reviews very seriously, like, so there is so many options nowadays. Like anybody can become a business person or a businesswoman or
Mm.
something. Yeah. There is no thing at all.
YouTubing has become so popular these days.
Very
Yeah.
popular,
My
very,
God. Yeah.
very popular. Yeah.
I, Lakshmi, what do you think of these options like starting a channel of your own, making videos, inspiring people? Isn't that also a very good career option?
Yeah, yeah. This is just looking at how I use YouTube. If there's something I don't know, I first, I recently got some ducklings, right? I've got 3 ducklings at home, and they're beautiful, yeah, and they're hard work actually at first, like any baby. Any baby animal it needs a lot of care. And so one of them started getting a little bit poorly, and the first thing I did was go to YouTube and try and find out. And there were numerous. Who would imagine that there were? I never imagined 2 months ago that I'd be looking at, how to look after your pet duckling videos on YouTube. But there are thousands of people, people doing the same thing and wanting to learn about the same thing. So you can find information on YouTube about
Do you have a
anything.
pond for that?
You have a pond, yeah. They can't go in just yet. You have to wait until they're a bit older.
Ah. Nice,
But,
interesting. To keep ducklings as pet. Wow, lovely.
it's not the easiest choice of pet, but they're quite charming, and each has an individual character,
Mm.
and kids, right? So they want pets, and I don't really want a dog or a cat because they're hard work. But when ducklings get bigger, they're quite self-sufficient and independent. So it was
Mm.
a choice.
And you don't need to cook for them, right? They can.
You would be surprised. I mean, they get a really healthy meal in this house, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I give them nice food.
So you have both male and female ducklings? Ducks, I mean.
2 are female. The third, I think, maybe male. From the way he behaves, he's quite different.
Male chauvinism.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm amazed at what information is out there, and I'm thinking, yeah, that between everyone has something that they can offer, that they can give, and share. It's so satisfying when we share our knowledge with each other, and this is an amazing forum to do that through. Through inspiring Indian women and through organizations like this, and YouTube is excellent for this. And you never know what can go viral as well, and even if not going viral, don't care about that so much, but just getting interesting ideas out there, but also nice way to live, like nice ideas, inspiring ideas on how to live a full life that is of purpose and useful to the world and to the planet and to each other. And there's so many challenges and difficulties and so much animosity out there, that finding such a supportive forum like this, it's really a gem, and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, and we should support that much more. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, let's have this the duo of Lakshmi and Kavitha back again someday. What I was thinking, Kavitha has to just work out on her sound system, just the mic bit. Yeah, by that time. And we will definitely, we want to see your pottery making, which is so unique thing, to make beautiful pots and paint it and, sell them at work
Yeah.
at home,
Yeah.
and also jewelry making.
Yeah.
Anybody has any question, Lakshmi, just ask. Let's go for that if anybody has.
Please, please do come forward with any ideas or questions you have, anyone listening. Do you have a kiln, or do you need to have a kiln or a wheel to do pottery, Kavitha?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Need,
Kiln
right?
right now, I'm using a community kiln because it's very, very expensive to have a kiln at home. So, and also the power needs to be like almost on for 18 hours or so. It should be firing. So the entire place gets heated up. So I cannot afford to have this in my flat here right now. So I'm just using the community kiln right now. But the
You
pottery
can't
is
use an oven. Like, in England, everyone has an oven. You
no.
can't use something like
It needs 1300 degrees centigrade to fire for 18
wow.
hours. Yeah.
So fantastic that the community has one that you can use. I never heard
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, they have, because they have invested a lot, and community in the sense it's run by an individual person only who's interested, who's doing her pottery, but she's invested in the kin, and obviously when she has to fire up, the entire barrel cannot be full with her things, so she takes from others also and fills it up and fires it for 18 hours and gives it to people, and she charges something for that, so it works for both of us, like, so.
Yeah, nice. I'd love to see that sometime. I'd love to see your work.
Oh, I'll tell you, the most relaxing passion, I mean, work on earth is playing with the clay. Right? I think everybody should experience that. Like, you think it's very easy when you watch YouTube videos, but you actually, when you put your fingers on clay and everything goes wobbly, like, then like, it's not so easy. Like, that's real fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, it looks like it's a very skillful art form. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when you're creative, you can do anything. That's what is my thing. You can write, you can paint, you can sculpt, you can do anything if you're creative. That's it. Yeah. And we need to catch up a lot on herbs, Lakshmi.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah. I used my herbs on the ducklings, and it's amazing how beautifully it worked again. It's just, oh, it's so inspiring when you see that, they work within hours. You can see an improvement. One of them had a cold, he had a runny nose, she had a runny nose, and you could see the nose was blocked and pouring out. And the next day, after I gave some tinctures, she was breathing through her nose. It was, it was amazing. Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, it's really so inspiring when you see nature working like this.
Yeah, true. I want more people to get into this. Such a simple living, right? You don't need to earn so much of money at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I want a simple life. I
True.
just live in the countryside, surrounded by nature. Just back to basics.
I think you all should come to our the project that I'm working on. Once it is done, I think you will really love it.
Yeah. Where in Bangalore is this? I told Mum already. Yeah, she will come.
Yeah, this is just outside the Bangalore border. Herbs. Yeah, Hosur, it is within the border of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Yeah.
Yes, the tech city, right? Where Modi is investing. Yeah.
But we are way inside the village.
Beautiful. So I'll send my mother coming tomorrow, actually, to Bangalore.
Okay, really? Yeah, do send her number. We'll talk. We'll catch up. Yeah.
So someone is messaging that they would like to know about herbs. So how about you and me? We run a herbal workshop.
Sure. I can talk about what we get here in India, and you can talk about that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, Jayashree, thanks for the idea. We'll do that.
Hello, are you finishing?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a call. My name's Letta. Hi, Rashmi. How are you? So did I miss something about the herbal workshop or something?
That was some time back,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
not today. Yeah.
Oh,
You can
okay.
get in touch with Lakshmi for herbal workshop, and the video is also available on YouTube, what we did, and it's also there on our Facebook page. But here we have, I just want to tell all the ladies out there that we have loads and loads of talented ladies who would love to share their knowledge and skill with everyone. So we have Kavitha here, who is very good at, she has good 20 years experience and has been working hard since last 20 years. She has been working from home since few years, and she's a blogger. She writes technical reviews or write technical matters for any products or any company. And she's also a potter. She's also a jewelry designer. She makes jewelry at home. And we have Lakshmi here, who is a herbalist. We had a very nice session with her, which spoke about all those products which we have at home, which are good to prevent COVID, or today's world, chemical free organic stuff. So we are going to have more and more of such sessions, and we would like to invite Kavitha Balakrishnan again sometime later. And of course, Lakshmi, you can see that the demand for your herbalist session is also there. So we will definitely have you both again. And also, I want to say that tomorrow we're having a special episode on women fighting loneliness, the battles when the husband has left for the abode, and what kind of struggles they face, what kind of problems, how the world looks up at them, how do they get out of it, how do they break stereotype. We have lots of wrong notions, and we want to break it all. So we have almost 5 to 6 women who are going to share their struggle and experience with us tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time on Inspiring Indian Women. And Lakshmi, thank you so much for such a lovely hosting. Lakshmi, you're full of energy, and you're so impromptu and natural. You know, Kavita, we
Thank you.
enjoyed a lot learning from you, and we will not let you go. We want you back.
Thank
We
you.
want
Sure,
you
sure,
back.
sure.
Yeah,
I also
just
enjoy
get your
talking.
mics corrected,
Sure.
and we will get it back again.
Yeah.
So Lakshmi,
Okay.
the final bye for you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Can
Fantastic.
I just say something before we
Yeah,
pack
yeah.
up
Go on.
or round off, wrap
Yeah.
up? So what I wanted to say, because Rashmi, I've been very, very involved in herbal stuff for a long time, and be it from the kitchen cupboard or from the professional, products. And also, I'm happy to say that my daughter's running a clinic as well from home, who's involved in a new therapy, which is unique in London. She's the only one with that clinic. So there's all that connection. And I would like to speak about all this at some stage. It's just finding a slot. So
Yeah,
I'd
definitely.
love to do that and promote it and help the women, because it's nice to know that, this is a soft, non-invasive therapies. And if we can avoid surgeries, and if we can collaborate and make a little community of supporting each other for these, concerns that we have every day. Oh, this is not right in my body, and that's not right, and this is, and we don't know where to turn to, do we? So it would be a wonderful approach to take, is to solve, this anxiety which it raises. So yeah, I'd love to be part and parcel and work with all of you in whichever way I can support you all.
Yeah.
And
Wonderful. Just get connected on WhatsApp, and
yeah,
let us work out some days. Yeah.
Are
Thank
you
you
on
so much.
WhatsApp, Lakshmi and Kavitha? Because I'm on that group, aren't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's
They're on
there.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Thank you,
So
Lakshmi.
let us wind up
Thank
because
you,
we are
Meena.
having Minakshi Chipati after a few minutes teaching free cooking sessions. And I think she's going
Oh.
to teach pachadi and some Kerala dishes. So we'll disconnect and get back again. Yeah. Take care,
Okay.
everybody. Bye.
Okay. All the
Bye.
best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Everybody's welcome to join that show as well.
Okay.